Hi, hello. Welcome to Dear PB, a podcast where we hopefully hope you become a better speedrunner, but probably won't. I'm Corvin May, but you can call me May, or she, or her.
I'm Swoos. You can call me SWC, or he, or they.
And joining us from the Shadow Realm, it's Skybilz.
Hello, I'm Skybilz, and you can call me she or they.
We're going to do some card gaming today, and you're just going to get to hear us talk about cards for a while.
Boy.
Card games on podcasts, the meme everyone's talking about. And you can feel free to start whenever.
All right, we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
So technically, I guess I've been told that the timer resets a lot as you do resets in the beginning. I'm not going to be doing that because I can't start and stop the timer and also podcast at the same time. So
sure.
This is going to be one of the timers of all time.
Yeah, it'll be timing. So
it is timing, unless this is a run.
Of course.
So we'd like to start off by asking you about yourself, just so the people out there get to know a little bit about who you are and how you got into this. What got you into speedrunning? Give us a little history lesson.
Sure. So what got me into speedrunning is I watched GDQ back in 2013. I saw folks playing, Mario 3, and I'm like, well, I've been playing Mario 3 since I was 3 years old. I can do this stuff. I saw some Castlevania on there, and I was just like, I'm going to give this a try. Why not? I was fresh out of grad school looking for employment anyways, so I was just like, let's give this streaming thing a try. It looks like fun, and the rest is kind of history from there.
Cool. What made you get into this game specifically?
What got me into Forbidden Memories is I actually had this game growing up. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I'd actually played Yu-Gi-Oh! For 10 years. Like, no exaggeration. I had played the actual card game, not this version of the card game, for about 10 years or so. So I'm like, well, I like Forbidden Memories, but I noticed then that there was a 15 card mod, and I'm like, wait a second, back it up. Are you serious? Because the game actually becomes so much more playable with the 15 card mod. You're getting a full booster pack of cards versus just one card. So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Like, I didn't even hesitate. I knew the bad things that this game could do to runners, and I had no fear. I had run Castlevania 3 prior to this, and I'm like, well, it can't be worse than Castlevania 3, so let's give this a shot.
Was it worse than Castlevania 3?
No, Castlevania 3 is way worse than this.
Okay. That's good. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been the one card game that has remained incomprehensible to me. Like, I used to watch a friend play Duel Links, and I would just be like, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like you're doing a good job. And it's not like I don't understand card games. Like, I understand how Magic and the Pokemon one work. Like, I've played Magic for a while, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
For me.
How long?
Yeah, I played Magic like my last year of high school I only played for a couple years.
Okay.
I kind of fell out of it because Magic stresses me out immensely.
Understandable.
Where opponents can do stuff on my turn is too stressful for me. I've been playing the Pokemon game because it's like, all right, it's my turn. No one can interrupt me.
Yeah.
I just do stuff. I just have to predict what they'll do on their turn. Which makes it a lot simpler, but also it just is a lot better for my my anxiety.
Guessing you didn't like the color blue in Magic the Gathering then.
So I didn't mind playing it.
Okay.
I usually play blue and white.
Oh, that is a color combination for the ages, so to speak.
And then, but also I only went to sealed and played Two-Headed Giant, and that was it. So.
Oh, those are some of the best formats. So I can't say I blame you.
So fun. It's like the one like that and EDH are like the two I miss. But I will not be getting back into Magic. I've been spending all my money on Pokemon cards now. So, oh boy!
Imagine buying cards to actually play the game and not just collect them.
Well, I buy cards to get the codes for online where I can actually play the game because I don't know
That's
anybody.
True.
I don't have anybody in real life to play with because there's not that many stores here that do PTCG events for whatever reason. It's weird.
Right.
But yeah, so
I just like looking at the art.
Me too. That's why I got that.
That's about it.
So I played Pokemon trading card game back in the 90s, right? Or whatever, early 2000s. And then like I was like, oh, the art's good. I should just buy some cards to look at the art. And that was a mistake because now I have.
Yeah, look at the cute little fire lizard. There's no way this is going to burn a hole in my wallet, you know?
Exactly. Also, it'd been so long since I played that I didn't realize that it wasn't published by Wizards anymore, and it hasn't been since 2003.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, does Wizards not do it anymore? Like looking at the bottom of the card, I didn't see that like the copyright, and somebody was like, yeah, May, it's been like 18 years since that was the case.
Wow.
Like, oh, well, okay, oops. But yeah, this is an advice show where you send in questions and we impart upon you our hard-earned wisdom and trading card deck lists, but mostly the wisdom.
Okay.
And we have some questions here from some lovely viewers.
Sounds good.
Dear PB, I just finished running in my first speedrunning marathon. I grinded this game for a long time, and up until the marathon, I was starting to feel burnt out in this game and looking forward to picking up something new after the marathon. But I had such a good time during the event that now the feeling of being burnt out isn't there anymore. Is this something you've experienced in the past? Is this a true second wind, or am I just looking at it with La Vie en Rose? La Vie en Rose? I don't know that term, but pretend I pronounced it right. I'm committed to moving on, but now I want to grind further and scared it might just make me more tired and burnt out even when I continue. Any sites would be helpful, and thanks. Any insights? From Marathon Maniac. Why do I read these? I can't speak a full sentence.
Yeah, I'm going to read the entire thing again.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe next time. Yeah.
Feeling burnt out, but then getting a second wind. I think that's valid.
I've done that before, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've also done the opposite, where I already was burnt out, and I ran the game in marathon, and I was like, nope, I'm done with this. Like,
I've also done that too, yeah.
That
happened me with Let's Go, when I did Let's Go for the GDQ, like, Frame Fatale's Game of the Month celebration. And I was like, wow, I never want to play this game ever again.
Yeah, I did that with Brawl. I got my PB, my current PB, like 4 years ago now. I was like, all right, I'm done with the game. And I got into a marathon, and I was like, no, I'm still done with the game. Like, there's nothing more for me to do here. So it was like half burnout because I've been playing it for a year straight, and half like I've achieved what I wanted to anyways. But even if you're in that case, you can still be like, okay, I can still do more. And one of the things that really helps with that is if you run a game in a marathon and people are like, hey, I want to run the game. And then you get more people.
Yeah.
And that kind of just not forces you to stay around, but more so encourages it, and it'll make you want to help out new runners and stuff, which is always really cool. That's fun.
And there's like a couple things that go into that too, where it's like one, like when you do a marathon run, you're like there, you have a couch of theoretically people that you're friends with often, like all hyping you up and stuff. You like have the crowd, like if it's an in-person event, you have the crowd. If it's an online event, you have the chat hyping you up too. You get to finish a run if it's a game that doesn't finish often. And that can be like, that's always like if somebody runs Pokemon and that's just constantly resetting. I'm like, oh yeah, when you play this game all the way through, it's good. The end game is so good. So yeah, and like I feel like if you get back into it and then you're immediately like, I don't want to do this, what you can do is not do it.
Yeah, that is an option.
If it sucks, hit the bricks. You can just leave.
My advice is maybe if there's a new category in the game you would like to pick up, that would make things fresh too. That way you can stay within the scope of the game without having to give up the game itself and possibly risking burnout.
Yeah, that is a great anti-burnout measure. Play the game, but play something else.
Yeah, and if your game doesn't, if you don't have if there isn't a category that you want to do, make one up. Most games you could like have a ton of categories you could come up with. The only one that comes to mind that I don't know how you would make another category is Barney's Hide and Seek Adventure.
You have one category for 2-player, one category for 3-player.
That's not really different. That's not really different though.
But then you have more people to hang out with. So if you do like the 37-player co-op run versus the 35-player co-op run.
What if we did that as like a live show?
I've already done that as a live show before.
We do it as a live show, but we do 10x.
It's an hour and a half. I don't know if the game ends itself. Like after the game is completed, I don't know if it kicks you back to the main menu.
I know that's the skill is you have to reset the game.
Oh boy. Good idea. I'll pitch it next time.
Thank you. I thought it was pretty good. I still don't understand what's going on in you. I know you like combine cards. You like sacrifice cards to make better cards, right?
Kind of, sort of. It's like you have a permanent polymerization in this game. Like you can constantly just fuse creatures. So this is like the alpha version of the game.
So I played Inscription, and I was told that the first act of Inscription is kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my partner Author Blues is for having me play that game. I don't want to say like forcing, but like is heavily insistent that I play the game. So I'll be playing that this week.
I want to like get it on the record that we fully did not plan to do the power couple back to back, but it happened. So, and I'm happy. I'm happy we did it. Yeah, I think that's fun. I'm still don't like. I'm gonna get so distracted by this the entire time.
Every 5 minutes, you'd be like, "All right, now what's happening?"
And I just never understand what's going on at any given point.
Well, the issue with me as well is my brain actually runs very fast. So while I do want to give explanations, my brain is currently processing everything I got to do.
I get it. Yeah, I don't think I could explain playing a card game while doing. I can barely explain like answers to questions in the podcast when I'm not doing anything else. Like, God forbid I have to like also run a game during. This is why I don't run.
Oh, what a weird concept! Having to answer questions while playing a game. That's crazy.
Look, all my games are too long.
I like it.
Oh wait, the middle thing I know Magic.
I
know Magic.
Yeah,
that's a cool crossover.
For the benefit of the listener, the middle card just said Magic. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
That's a field spell. It'll morph the field and increase and decrease powers of certain creatures on the field.
All right, dear PB. This is an interesting one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna yeah, we'll get into it. This is an interesting one. Dear PB, I have a crush on this guy in the speedrunning community I'm a part of. We learned the speedrun of this game around the same time and have spent the last 6 months on Discord talking to each other about the game by dropping by each other's streams. Our conversations have been mostly around speedrunning, so we don't have a very deep relationship beyond the community we share. He was there for my most recent PB, and I realized that him congratulating me gave me the best feeling I've had in a while, which led me to the realization that I have a crush on him. Now I just want to spend all of my time with him and get to know him better, like if he's a dog person, a car person, or if he likes mustard in his pretzels. How should this young pup in love continue? Sincerely, Romantic Runner.
What a good question.
Yeah. It is a good question.
Hell yeah.
And it's like a hard one to answer. Yeah. Like, on one hand, I think, this is a hard one.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So
because everyone in this podcast, everyone in this Zencaster call right now is in a relationship with another speedrunner, right?
Did we all meet through speedrunning? Specifically.
Did anyone not meet through speedrunning?
Yeah.
No, we met through speedrunning.
Oh boy.
All right, well there you go. Shoot your shot. I guess that's the official.
Yeah. This is the perfect forum to ask the question to.
Exactly. That's why I was like, on one hand, like I don't want to like encourage people like just like nonstop ask each other, because I like
don't be weird about it.
People get weird about it. Yeah. But also, like if you do have feelings for someone, like you should be able to pursue that if they're also down for it.
Yeah.
Like my advice, I guess, is just don't be weird about it. Just like
pretty much.
Yeah. Just like start to get them like if you've been talking about stuff, like bring up stuff, like try to bring up stuff organically that isn't specifically around speedrunning. Like mention stuff going on in your life and stuff like that. And then like, as you start to develop like a rapport, then see where it goes.
Yeah.
I like this question a lot. I
That's
know I
good.
like prefaced it with a bunch of like a
This
bunch
is a
of like
weird question.
asterisks.
I don't know.
Well, it's because like the thing that you see a lot is like in like male dominated hobbies is like
hmm
everybody asks out the one girl and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I don't want to encourage, and that's where I'm like, well, like, but like also like if you're respectful about it and you have an, like a existing rapport and you're not and like
Yeah,
you're not
exactly.
like
You're not coming out
projecting
of
crazy
nowhere.
hard, then it's
Yeah.
like, and like as long as you're like and you just have to go in like with any sort of like asking somebody out sort of thing. You just have to like go in with it with like knowing that like they might not feel the same way, and sometimes that's life. And sometimes it's like they like might not feel the same way, and like it is for extreme. Like it's not about you usually
hmm
when that happens. Like it could like there. It's just like sometimes people just don't feel the same way about each other romantically. Like you never know, and sometimes they're like they're fully not compatible with you just on like a sexuality level. Like there's a million different reasons, and so yeah, welcome to Dear PB, a podcast
A relationship podcast.
a better a podcast about love.
Oh.
Aw.
Y'all have anything to add about that?
No, I fully agree. Um, just
Like
yeah.
it's kind of this in the way it's the same as our marathon advice. Or no, it's our, same as our advice about going to about it is secretly it's the same as our advice about going to marathon or like live events, which is don't be weird.
That's true.
Mhm.
Just like just be like natural.
Going
Don't
out
be
with
weird.
someone is like going to a speedrun marathon.
Exactly.
Don't
You
be
could
weird.
write that on the back of the box.
Also, too, just as a real like basic thing, you may want to make sure that they're not already in a prior commitment.
That
That as
too.
well. Yeah.
Because
But
otherwise,
you
that's just awkward.
Yeah.
I guess my
Don't be
advice
weird about
is
that either.
you should ask out GDQ. I got my wires crossed. Sorry.
Uh-huh. Ask
Yeah.
out your local speedrun marathon.
Ask out your local speedrun marathon.
I see.
Yeah.
That's
like-
our
just
official
like
advice, clearly.
Like dropping to one knee in front of the hotel and being like, "Don't do that." Actually, if you did that to a marathon as a bit, that would be kind of funny.
That would be
But
pretty good.
it'd be pretty good. Somebody do that at GDQ. If you're listening to this,
Propose to
GDQ.
GDQ, just as a whole.
yeah. And then if somebody's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, well, it's actually a really niche reference to this cool show I watch.
Yeah.
I actually printed out cards that you can to tell you about Dear PB.
Yeah, print out business cards for our podcast.
Business cards for our,
Thanks.
that's our advice.
Do this as a bit. Do this as a what's the word?
I don't know.
Publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a publicity stunt for the podcast.
Thank you. We appreciate it. How did that card of zero defense, not zero.
Yeah, zero defense.
I thought defense was life. Or is that
No. Each card has attack and defense.
Yeah, then your life is on your own player.
Oh. Right. Oh my god, I don't understand Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay. Welcome to DBB, a podcast where we help you become a better partner, and May doesn't understand Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what the show's about.
Are they related though?
Yeah, that could be an episode title. May doesn't understand Yu-Gi-Oh. Actually, I'm going to revise my advice a little bit. It's okay to be like, when I say don't be weird, you're allowed to be uncomfortable. Because,
Yeah,
like,
I was
somebody
thinking
is
that
like
too.
hard, but like when we say don't be weird, it's like
Don't be creepy.
that's not what I mean. Don't be creepy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can be awkward and uncomfortable. Like I'm
Yeah,
awkward and
that is
uncomfortable.
normal.
Literally all of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Sky, what's your comfort run?
My comfort run? Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of this, honestly. Like anything that doesn't platforming I find so stressful, right? So
Me
like I
too.
guess my comfort run would be like this
I do
and
not
maybe
like
Star
platformers.
Fox for the Super Nintendo, which I know Star Fox isn't well, especially the Super Nintendo version isn't very comfortable, but for me, it's, it's something I grew up with, so it's quite in my
that's
comfort
fair.
zone.
It's not exactly
yeah.
comfortable to look at, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like something cannot be comfortable to look at, but like just like be locked in your mind, you can just do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Very 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 different vibes. And if it happens to be both, well, that's cool too. Do you recommend it? Should we all go out and run Star Fox for our SNESs?
Sure, why not? I
All
would
right.
recommend starting on Route 1, though. I don't know if you would want to go on to Route 3. That is stressful. That was actually really hard for me to finish any runs of.
I don't think I've ever played the original Star
I've
Fox.
never played the original Star Fox.
I've only played 64, and so all I'm thinking about now is Pokemon, which is not right.
Oh, you just said it. Pokemon is very relaxing for me. That's a good one.
Mhm.
All right. I didn't actually know that you did Pokemon, or was it Pokemon TCG? Or did you do
No. Pokemon Stadium rental randomizer. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Ate
yeah,
Your
yeah.
Pie developed a challenge run. I love challenge runs, by the way. Developed a challenge run where you use the rentals, but you could only use what the random Pokemon generator would give you, and you had to just kind of roll with it. And while it's stressful, it's also fun knowing that like most of the game is completely out of your control. So I'm totally cool with that.
I mean, that's the run too, right? Like
Yeah.
Thunder Simulator 1999 or whatever. How many? Just hit all your 70% thunders.
Yeah,
I want to try
bad.
doing some stadium runs, but I got to get a copy of I got to get an N64 to do it. And I can borrow one, but it's like, why do that when I can just run ORAS?
Yeah.
That's
Just
my
run the
advice.
games you know.
Don't be weird. Run ORAS, post GDQ in that order, and then run Star Fox on your SNES. Write all those down. That's like a to-do
That's
list.
a lot. Yeah.
That's your podcast homework. Come back. Make sure you have it done by next week, or when is GDQ's in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that soon. Wow.
Yeah, you get to podcast without me for that one.
Ooh.
Or just release a bonus episode or something. I don't know. Or like
We'll
unlock a bonus episode. We'll see what we do for that week.
Yeah. You can just do a live vlog from GDQ.
Yeah. You should come to GDQ, Sploose. You can hang out with us.
We'll see.
And all the cool kids.
No, I'm busy that week, I think.
Oh, you are? Yeah, you're doing
GDQ?
you're doing like SmashCon or something.
No, I'm gonna be elsewhere. We'll see.
Right. Sploose will be elsewhere. That's the other podcast.
I will be elsewhere.
Sploose will be
I like
elsewhere. Can't even do a live episode, but it's fine because I didn't find a venue anyways, so...
Yeah. Maybe next GDQ.
Dear PB, I'm a relatively young speedrunner, just turned 18. I'm about to go to college this August, and I'm wondering how I'm going to handle the transition from going to high school to university, while still maintaining my hobbies like speedrunning. I guess I'm unsure how I'll be able to continue to speedrun and stream while going through a life transition like moving away for college. Do you have any tips for me for life transitions in general, or maybe even anything specific to college? From Collegiate Comrade. I have good news.
I have a lot of college advice.
Yeah, I have good news. You'll never have more free time in your life.
It's true. Unless you're in like a super honors program and you're taking like 90 credits a semester, but if you have like a regular... I mean, even if you are, you can time manage, but you'll have time. Just maybe not like at the very beginning when you're like properly moving and getting all settled in and stuff, but just take a week off.
I played so much Final Fantasy 14 and Dota 2 in college.
I was
so little going to class.
Yeah, me too, except with other games. Ooh. Be responsible. That's
be responsible.
Don't
like any life like any big change like that is obviously gonna be very stressful. And if you need to take a break, step back from running for a bit in order to focus on that, that is super fair. But like at the end of the day, once you settle in, you'll quickly be like, oh, I actually have tons of time now. The one weird thing is that I don't know. It depends on your college, but when I was a freshman, they like made you do like the small dorms, and that's like a bit weird for streaming.
Yeah,
but like you just gotta like sort it out with your roommate essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't use a cam, then it's easier.
Right. Don't run MMORPGs while you are in college. That would be like the one thing I would caution against. Because those can be a little tricky.
Don't be like me.
Yeah, literally just like I played like 2,000 hours of Final Fantasy 14 in college.
Wow.
It was probably 1,500. I did play like 2,000 hours. 2,000 hours of Dota. I was not a good college student. I barely graduated. Ah! Well, I was not a good college student. I wouldn't say I barely graduated.
Yeah, I was in a similar boat, just being irresponsible, and then I became not irresponsible, and it was a bit better.
Well, I wouldn't say that I became not irresponsible. I would say that I got actually prescribed for my various mental conditions, and that helped. Yeah, that was not a thing when I was, or that was not an option, or that I knew of in college. So
Yeah.
that was cool. That was fun. But yeah, like there's a ton of college speedrunners. Honestly, like I know so many college speedrunners.
I did a majority of my speedrunning in college.
And like you'll quickly find the time.
Yeah, for sure. Just don't make it a priority unless you're making $300,000 a year from streaming.
Yeah, if you're like if you're the one person, if you're the person who got all of the money from the ad incentive, then maybe you should do it. If you're anyone else, maybe you should.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. You'll like
college.
Streaming is honestly like I wish I was streaming in college. I'm in a good way to like I'm gonna have like supplemental income. Honestly,
it's a good way to chill out.
That'd be nice.
Wait, would the college internet be good enough to hold up a stream?
It depends
on your school. Yeah,
my school. Hell yeah, we had such good internet in the dorms.
My school had gigabit.
I don't think mine did, but I also went to school a long time ago before all y'all. I don't want to date myself too much, but you know.
I don't imagine you went to school that long before me.
In college I was class of 2010 for undergrad.
Oh boy, I graduated last year.
It was a bit before me. I graduated in 2016.
Yeah.
I had a 6-year program that graduated last year, so. Oof.
I mean, but you're like that. Swoosie, you being like, oh, I graduated last year doesn't quite date you the way that like.
No, I know. I'm saying that I'm young.
No, but like what I'm saying is like it's a 6-year program. So you being like, oh, I graduated last year.
Okay,
like,
I should have been.
Oh, whoa, Swoosh is 22 or whatever.
24.
Congrats.
Gosh, thank you.
Like the TV show. Wow, it's a record.
I am almost 10 years older than you. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
That's like I joke about that all the time. Where it's like the fun thing about speedrunning is it's like, or like it depends on the community. In some communities, it's like, oh, if you're like under 25, then it's like, why are you here?
Right.
Like not even in a like a gatekeeping way, but a like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you interested in
playing know about this game?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then in other communities, it's that Club Penguin picture where over 18 you have the cane.
Oh no!
It's like Mario 64. Apparently, it just like has like all these 16-year-old runners who are absolutely just like
killing it,
crazy good at the game. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, everybody else is just like washed.
If you're above 19 years old, your body has degenerated enough that you cannot play this level anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's like esports where it's like if you're like older than 14 and like your reactions have decayed to the point where
you're just useless. Exactly.
Like I remember when I was watching Dota, one of the players was like 27 and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's old man fear." It's like, "Oh boy. This is sustainable, huh?"
The peak age of speedrunning is significantly less than the peak age of any other like physical sport.
Like specifically higher? What do you mean? Well, like, I don't know. It depends on the game. That's like, there's so many different games you can do. That's the like. You don't have to be like some games have so like if there's like a lot of menuing, then depending like
Pokemon.
You can be pretty old and run Pokemon because like for everything. So it's like okay.
Yeah, a lot of the super popular games are like, yeah, he just got world record and he's 14. It's like, oh, that's cool. When I was 14, I don't know what I was doing.
When I was 14, I was like, it's like when I was 14, Minecraft just came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I had something like speedrunning to fall back on. You know, that's like again, another community that you can stay familiar with, even though you're in a new setting. That familiarity may actually help you out with that transition between living situations, because you know that someone still has your back.
Yeah, for sure.
Having like any sort of like pillar is like anchor is like super huge. That's a really good point. Like when I went to college, I had like 2 different friend groups, because I had like my friends that I knew from high school, and then my friends that I made through a club in college. But like before I had that second friend group, it was like good to have again that like stability.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the times, unless you're in one of those super young communities, you're gonna have people that have gone through the same thing that can help you out.
True. And even if like you're not the first person to go through this, right? Like you have resources available to you, and then having the connections that you have through the community is going to be, I think, really useful. That's a really good point. Do you want to talk about how much I don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh?
Whoa, do you not know about Yu-Gi-Oh? Imagine.
I don't know about you. I don't understand. I'm still so confused.
This is Alpha Yu-Gi-Oh, so that would be why you may be a little confused. It's
I've always been confused. Like, okay, so what I understand about Yu-Gi-Oh is mainly through reading hobby drama posts.
Okay.
And what I mainly understand is that one, I guess they add some mechanic that changes the entire thing like every year. I've heard that.
Uh-huh.
2, I know that there's the Shadow Realm because I know the memes.
Of
3,
course.
I know that by playing Pot of Greed, it allows you to draw 2 cards.
That's
the most important one.
Yeah, that's all I know about Yu-Gi-Oh. I never watched the anime because my parents didn't let me, and so yeah, I got nothing.
You gotta watch GX at some point. GX is like, a lot of people underestimate how good Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is. I would recommend.
I love the concept. Oh yeah, I also know it's always time to duel. I know that as well. I love the concept of like, it's like how like in Pokemon everyone solves their problems by doing Pokemon battles, and then like the like crime boss is like, oh, right this way. My bad. But just everyone solving their problems through card games. Very good.
Oh yeah.
That's what we should do in real life.
That is what we should do in real life.
I'd be in such good shape if that was the case.
So set. You'd be like, I understand your point, but have you considered I beat you in a best 2 out of 3, and thus you're wrong. Honestly, that's how I treat my life too. 1v1 me. It's the 1v1 me mid lane of card games.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all the questions I pulled. I'm not.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain.
Let's go into the vault and see if we have any.
Ooh, I like that idea.
We're gonna go. It's like how we keep our best questions locked up, like Disney does.
Oh yeah.
So, we're gonna charge you $50 every 12 years.
Yeah, to see the spreadsheet where we keep all the questions. Actually, you're allowed to veto this one if you want. But specifically, I think a good one to ask you, just because of your experiences in speedrunning. How does one go about interacting with and participating with a speedrunning community if that community has a reputation of being toxic and exclusionary?
Oh, that's loaded.
I know.
That's loaded. I would say if that is the case, you're kind of, I don't want to say like responsible per se, but it is up to you to kind of pave a more inclusive space if that is the case, if that is the unfortunate space, because chances are if you're struggling with something, everybody else, and there's going to be a lot of folks on the outside bubble that are also struggling with something. And I would see that as an opportunity to cultivate a very caring and accepting community. It sucks for what you have to go through individually, but then you're saving folks from going through what you went through if you do cultivate that community.
Hi, this is Post-Production May, the May that gets added in after the fact. Did you know we have a Patreon? If you're already a Patreon subscriber, this message isn't for you. Thank you, we love you, you can tune out for this part. But if you're not, for only $3 a month, you can get access to episodes early and get a bonus episode at least once per month. The bonus episodes are like different from the regular episodes. They're a lot more unhinged, which is kind of saying something. You get access to all the ones we've already done, even if you subscribe now, so that's cool. We don't want to have to run ads during this program because ads suck, and supporting us via the Patreon helps us not have to do that. You can check it out at patreon.com/DearPBPod if you're interested and can afford to do so. You're already supporting us by listening to the show and telling others about it, so this is kind of like a bonus thing you could do if you really like it. Okay, cool, I'm done, bye. Yeah, I would agree mostly. I wouldn't say that you're necessarily responsible. I would
Sure,
say, like,
sure.
if you're trying to get into this community and it is, like, super exclusionary, then, like, it's not your responsibility to fix it. Like, that
Sure,
doesn't fall
sure.
onto you. But I do think that, like, if you're within that community, you obviously have a responsibility to do that. And you'll be surprised about, like, how many, like, when you do speak up, if you do speak up, how many people, like, agreed with you the whole time but didn't feel like they had the space to do it. As somebody who has done exactly this, there were a lot of people who were like, "Oh my god, thank you for mentioning it." In fact,
Yeah.
this is a recurring theme, I would say, is people being like, "Thank you for like saying something."
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do, I think, when you see things that suck, is to say nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess the
mean-
worst thing that you could do is to also suck.
Yeah, be part of it. Yeah.
I would say back in the day, I very much strayed from saying anything, and that's one of the ways in which I've grown as a person and a community member. Is it is important to say something, but one of the most important things to remember is, do you have the bandwidth for it? Because self-care
True.
is still very much a
For sure.
thing and a concern there. So again, just make sure that you have the bandwidth for it. You know, evaluate yourself first. You know, make sure that your safety is still there. You know, because a lot of
Mhm.
people underestimate that too. And then once all those check boxes have been covered and you have the spoons to do so, then you do speak up.
Yeah, because like part of the thing is too is that, like, if you spread yourself too thin,
Mhm.
then you're gonna like then you reach a point where you're not actually useful anymore because you've like burnt yourself out so badly.
Mhm.
And so it's it's balanced as with all things. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
really easy to get like it's really stressful.
I would agree.
Like get involved in these things. Like, oh man, have I been stressed? But
Mhm.
like, if you have the bandwidth to do it, then I think you should. And
Yeah.
if you don't have the bandwidth to do it, but you also don't have impulse control like yours truly, then hey, there you go. That's a problem for future May.
Yeah.
And then if you're in a position of privilege, and thus then and like inherently have more bandwidth because you're not getting worn down by having to like being the target of all these things, and then more of that burden falls onto you. Like and it sucks that it always takes an inciting incident for things to change, but if you do see things, speak up, make your voice heard, use the influence you do have to try to make every community a little bit better. And like that it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter who it is. Like if somebody's being shitty, then you should call them out.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. This is an interesting one, just given the last week. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
last
I mean-
24 hours. So you know.
Mhm.
We were in our DM. We were like, oh man, we like of course like we brought Sky on at like the worst, like the worst time.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not the first time something like this has happened, where like a big thing drops like the day before we record, and it's like, well, this is gonna be fun.
Oh wait, who?
Yeah,
Who's the other one?
it was whenever the games list dropped. I don't think. It was,
Oh
like,
yeah.
It was in the same scope, and it was just like, well, I don't really want to deal with this.
Yeah.
But
Will we bring it up? Maybe. Will we not bring it
Right.
up? Also maybe. I don't mind bringing it up.
yeah,
It's pretty like localized like drama, I guess. But if you don't know what we're talking about,
good.
good.
Yeah.
Consider yourself lucky. What else we pull out of the old archives here?
Ooh.
Like our questions
The
frozen.
Disney Vault presents
The Disney Vault.
Bambi.
What is it like? Wait. Dear BB, how long after speedrunning a game do you become unable to play the game casually again?
Ooh.
I like this question.
I like that one too.
For me, it's not. It's like, for me, it like kind of makes you want to play the game casually more.
It depends. It depends on the game.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's a movement heavy game, something like, I don't know, like a Mario game, like if you're maybe not a Mario game actually. I don't know. If it's something that's like movement heavy and has like a lot of tricks that like help with movement, if you go to play the game casually, you are going to be constantly doing those tricks, and
That's
it
like
will be
sometimes kind of fun.
yeah. Or if it's like an easy skip in a level and you don't want to deal with the level, you just do that. But at the same
yeah.
time, are you detracting from your casual gameplay by doing that? And I mean, that's a question you got to ask yourself. But
like, I'm not gonna not do DSJs when playing Hat.
Exactly.
Like, it's too fun.
They're so fun.
They're so fun.
But yeah, it definitely, if it's a game like Pokemon where you can do tons of casual stuff by just not having like the speedrun team or whatever, then that's extremely easy.
Yeah.
And you'll have more knowledge of the game because you'll at least know where to go, which is good, I guess. Yeah.
Well, okay, it depends, because, like, I don't know, in Pokemon, I don't know where anything is if it's not part of the route.
That's true.
For a lot of games. And a lot of times, like, playing running a game makes you want to do more stuff within the same series, if not the same game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if the game that you run is a series, then or play similar games. Things like that.
Yeah, like adjacent games. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, well, I enjoyed playing Hat, so now I'm going to play Super Mario Sunshine. Oh, no.
Oh, you could. Yeah.
I chose the bad one. Darn it. If you have a problem with this, sound off in the comments and drive up our engagement.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely like genre specific if it makes it better to play casually or worse. If it's a linear, like, story-driven game that you're speedrunning, then it kind of sucks to do it casually afterwards, because you already know what's going to happen. But I feel like there's always opportunity to play a game casually.
I agree.
Yeah. I would definitely say, especially if you speedrun, just period, you want to have a game that you don't stream, because then you don't associate games with, like, working either.
True, yeah.
It's kind of like the whole idea of separating your sleeping space from your workspace, whereas if you have your streaming setup in your bedroom, that can create some tenseness there with, like, what you should be doing with your time.
Yeah.
I like overall agree, but I do think it does still depend on the game. Like, I can still play Sword and Shield casually and be like, yeah. But that game also has so much stuff to do that I can just do a thing that isn't a stream thing, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But as a general rule, I think that's true. I love the going back. Is that just a timed section at the end of the level where you can't progress until, like, a timer runs?
In the game?
In the game, yeah.
No. The only things you're really limited by are the cards in your deck. You're not timed at all in the game.
I meant the results screen.
Oh, the results screen.
It looks like you're, like, mashing A and B just to, like...
Oh, that's just so I can take a look at my cards. That's part of the mod.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know if you've heard this yet, but
do you know about Yu-Gi-Oh?
I don't understand.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't understand this game. So explain Yu-Gi-Oh to me in your own words.
So there's these cards, right?
Okay, I'm writing this down.
And you use them to attack other cards that your opponent has.
Okay, so far this...
You know Pokemon?
Yeah.
It's like that, except not really.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't know it was like this.
I figured that would be the easiest way to describe it to you.
That makes sense. What's your favorite Pokemon?
You're talking to me, or is this just in general?
It is general, but...
Okay, I like Dragonite. Dragonite's super cute.
Dragonite's good.
Dragonite's pretty good. Dragonite always feels like, it's like, but like Gyarados should have been its third evolution, and it should be like, so it's, Gen 1's got interesting energy, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, you got like Venonat and Venomoth existing and evolving into each other. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. Look, they didn't know what they were doing back then. It was
They
like,
really, I don't know if they still do,
we're
but
shooting from the hip. So,
yeah.
what's your second?
What about Shiny Dragonite?
I think Shiny Dragonite's fun.
Is Shiny Dragonite a green shiny?
It's green, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
such
It's okay.
Shiny Dragonair is really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a Shiny Dragonair plush right in
Um,
that corner of my office.
second favorite, probably Sylveon.
Oh, Sylveon's so good.
Yeah.
Sylveon's so good. I was doing Sylveon runs recently. It was fun. We get to pet the Eevee. It's good.
Aww.
It's good. We used to pet the Eevee for the Sword and Shield version, but we found out it was faster just to stuff berries down its throat instead. So
Oh.
now we do that instead. We don't pet
Okay.
it.
What about
We don't
Shiny
play-
Sylveon?
Shiny Sylveon's also really good.
I like Shiny Sylveon a lot.
Yes. Yes.
It's really good. It's such a good shiny.
Yeah.
They like knocked it out of the park, honestly, with a lot of the Gen 6 mons.
Yeah.
It's even gens have good mons. What can I say? What's your least favorite Pokemon?
Probably either C-Dot or maybe trying to think. Just mons that I wouldn't want to see in Ironmon is kind of what I'm thinking
Fair.
about
Yeah.
right now.
Fair.
I've been doing a lot of Pokemon lately.
Same.
Probably C-Dot.
Not same.
Is C-Dot a run ender? And I
Oh no, it's just a mon you don't want to have at the beginning.
that's true. Yeah, that's fair. So I'm used to doing like Gen 6 randomizer when I do that like Ironmon style stuff. So I'm like, oh, well, like there's like a billion terrible Pokemon, and like most of them are. In fact, there's so many like small like 400 base stat total Pokemon. They're just useless. It's great.
Yeah.
Half the
There's
deck.
a lot of Pokemon that are not good.
There are so many. They added so many, and like,
Yeah.
and I still get excited for every new one, even though we have so many already. And it's like, if that's not a metaphor for something, then I don't know.
Is it a metaphor for something?
Probably,
Okay.
yeah. Our desperate need to consume.
Oh, there is
Yeah.
no ethical Pokemon under something.
Yeah. Are there any isms in Pokemon?
That's a good question.
Prism Tower.
Prism Tower is a thing. Yeah. There's Whismur and Miss Magus and Seismitoad.
There's no ethical Pokemon under Whismur.
Under
Whismur.
Whismur. Maybe there's items. Welcome to Dear TV on Mobilepedia.
Where we look up ism.
No
You mean
ism.
Pokemon ISO. No, I didn't.
Oh, I forgot that held items are like split into 90 different pages on Bulbapedia. I wind up on Bulbapedia, like looking at Bulbapedia a lot when we film this podcast. I've started.
Bulbapedia is pretty okay. There's a TikTok account at amongus.pokemon.ism.
There's Prismatic Laser, the psychic special move.
Ooh.
So that's something. There's also Seismic. Oh man. There's also Prism Armor. Yeah, no isms in Pokemon. It doesn't really seem. If you know of one that I've missed, write in. Guys, what happens if I search for ism? Contain... Probably look for the whole word. Yeah, no, nothing useful there.
So I
this is
found
what our-
someone.
Oh, go ahead.
I found someone on YouTube who is playing NASCAR Racing 2003. I guess simulated, and they're calling it the Pokemon Cup Series.
Okay.
It
Just like
just contains ISM at the end, and I'm just very interested in what this is.
so is it like when I did the marbles on stream and I
Kind
imported
of.
every single Pokemon as a marble so we can determine who the best Pokemon was?
Kind of.
I don't remember what it was. It was something completely arbitrary. It was like Zangoose or something.
That makes sense.
I don't think it was Zangoose, but it was something you wouldn't expect.
Right.
But that's science. Like, sometimes science comes out with results that you just don't expect. This is what our podcast turns into, by the way.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is-
I don't know if you saw the episode where I talked about Angry Birds for 40 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't know they made so many. We can't get into.
Oh
this.
no.
You know how many games they've made? So many. I haven't played any of them since Angry Birds 1. Like, how time flies and we don't even realize.
Somebody in a server that I'm in a couple days ago made a tier list of their Angry Bird characters, and they put Stella in F tier, and it took a lot in me not to go off on them.
You should go off on them. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Was there a power gap?
It was kind of even, but
Okay.
like you can't put Stella in F tier.
Is this like based on their usefulness in the game?
I don't think so.
It's just character designs?
Probably.
Alright, well,
They
it's a
put
little problematic.
all of like the super large ones in S, like the fat birds, and also the Cheetos packet from
What?
one of the ad games, I think.
Oh my god, the Angry Birds universe is too much.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on
Have
from
to
Angry
move
Birds
on.
into something probably more unhinged.
We have to move on from Angry Birds. We can't fall in. Poor Emre. Oh my god. Why am I like this?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what's. I can't look at more questions because I'm too busy being confused by Yu-Gi-Oh.
I have a fun generic question. Who have you learned the most from in speedrunning? Whether it be just for being part of a community or for a game or whatever.
Probably gonna be a toss-up between Author Blues and Darbian. Both of them have taught me quite a bit about speedrunning and patience. They've been both wonderful to me. They've been there since the beginning for me.
My favorite Ariana Grande lyric is "One taught me speedrunning, one taught me patience."
Uh-huh.
Alright, well that one didn't work.
Yeah, learning from people is good. Teach people
Yeah.
other things, learn stuff from people.
As you know what they say, it's great to learn because knowledge is power.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And
Is there a
knowing...
Rock video game?
Probably
I think the
not.
other thing, and it took me a while to learn, is there's more to speedrunning than getting games into marathons. That took me a
True.
hot minute to really
Yeah.
talk about. And I had to distance myself from speedrunning for a couple years before I figured it out, but I gradually learned that.
Here's a question: do you recommend you obviously like run pretty heavily in two different scenes, right? Between card games and speedrunning.
Yeah.
Just any comments on that? Like,
It
any
was
advice?
very jarring the first time I got invited to what would be a Pro Tour Players Tour. Everybody kind of interchanges those terms in Magic the Gathering. When I got the nod from Wizards to play in their Mythic Championship 7, as well as Mythic Invitational 2019, because I had gone from kitchen table Magic to professional grade Magic in 3 months without a ton of specialized helper tutors, and it was difficult. Imposter syndrome was a thing.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those, like, hey, I just kind of have to dive in face first and just kind of do my thing. And it was scary. It was really scary. But if I learned anything, it was, to just kind of hold my ground and do the best I can given the circumstances. And it did help out. But yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing of all, is that was my break from speedrunning. And the funny thing was, once I don't want to say I'm done with it, but like once I was a little less into it, we'll say, the funny thing is that I get into like my first couple marathons I resubmit, including GDQ 2022, and I'm like, well, wait a second. Why was I working so hard all those years? And maybe I had a case of try too hard. It was a learning moment for me, for sure.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Like, everything I had done was a focus on getting into GDQ.
Okay, yeah.
And I had wondered if, maybe I had put just a little more emphasis on, my stream and having fun and things like that, where I may have been a happier person during the years I was trying to do nothing but get into marathons. And I think the other tough part is that I didn't need a marathon to validate who I was as a speedrunner. And that's a hard thing for folks to get over, including myself, So just, again, hard lessons through the years, but, I'm out on the other end and I feel like I'm much better off for it for many reasons.
Yeah, I think it's easy to, like, forget, especially, or, like, maybe not so much after, like, all the talk after the games list came out this time, but, just, like, GDQ not accepting your run is not necessarily, like, is not a judgment on you as a runner. There's, like, there's a lot of things at play that go, like, that go into specifically the games they select. Not as much in terms of who they select, apparently, but in terms of specifically the games they select, like, there's a lot that goes into that. And so, yeah, I've definitely done that too, being like, oh, I want to get this into GDQ someday, and then it got selected, and I was like, I'm never gonna get to run this in GDQ. I'm in despair. But, like, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Or, like, it is a big deal to get in, but it's not the, like, it's not,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like, it's not the end-all be-all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of get into the hobby kind of thinking that, like, getting into GDQ is, like, the peak of speedrunning, when it's really not.
It's true. The peak of speedrunning is getting into,
getting to be a guest on Dear PB.
Yes, thank you. I was gonna say a different thing, but yours is better.
I was like,
what am I involved in? And I forgot my own podcast.
The thing you were doing right now.
Listen.
Imagine.
I think the real gem of it all is just the personal growth, Like, that is something that I did not realize until, you kind of have to come to terms with it. You have to come to terms that, stream growth and GDQ, first off, aren't related. I've had friends with a lot of runs and marathons, and they were like, yeah, it's not what you expect, don't put yourself through all that stress and pressure because, as you said, it's not the end all be all.
Like, it can be a boost, but it's not like the cut and dry thing you think it is.
Right. Exactly.
Like, it usually doesn't hurt, but yeah, it's like not gonna like catapult you. It's not gonna be like, oh, I'm in GDQ, I'm a partner now.
Yeah, exactly.
There are very few cases of people absolutely blowing up.
Yeah, like
solely from being on GDQ.
Yeah, if you have like a memorable run, what can happen is it could put you over the edge if you were already close. But...
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, if you are in like a good situation, you can kind of kickstart your community, I guess, from it. But you're not going to get partnered the day after your run just because people love you automatically.
Like if your goal of getting into GDQ is to grow your community, they're a lot more efficient, or they're a lot more like. There are a lot better ways to do that.
Not saying it doesn't help, but...
mainly involve around being loud.
Wow.
So that people know who you are, and being nice.
Just get yourself involved in a lot of stuff.
You know what my advice for growing your community is?
What?
Don't be weird.
Oh,
yeah,
It all comes back around.
I see.
Yeah.
Of course.
Propose to GDQ to grow your community.
Doing that will get you partnered. This is not official advice, but
this is legally like binding advice. That is
that means if they don't get partnered, then we get sued.
This is not legally advice. If you propose to GDQ, so the partner committee, I don't know if they have like whoever decides. They will fly out and like deliver you like one of those giant novelty checks, but it just has it has a big purple check mark on it.
Yes, clearly.
That's how it works. People don't know that. They don't want you to know that.
All right. So here's another indication of how old I've been around. When I got partnered, there was unfortunately no such thing as affiliates. And I say unfortunate because I really like what they've done with the affiliate program. Like, I feel like that was something that I was personally missing.
Yeah.
It
Well,
would have been
it's gonna
nice
be,
to kind of have like that in between. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing well. Let's keep going. It was either you had it or you didn't, and it was
Right.
very tricky to monetize your stream back then if you didn't have partner.
It is good that that like the barrier to not having all of your labor like value taken from you is much lower. That is good. I do agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, like growth is hard. There's like a
It
million.
is.
There's like a million
Forever.
things. There's like a million things you can read online, and like most of them are bullshit. Honestly.
Yep. No, you're
Yeah.
not wrong. Yeah, I
Like
agree.
any sort of one size fit all thing that you see about how to like grow your community and your stream is like inherently going to be like incorrect because people saying what worked for them that might not necessarily work for you because you're a different person. That said, everything I said is right. And so, no, like my advice of like be loud and be nice. Like there are people who like aren't loud and nice and just like stick to themselves, and that works for them. Like it really just depends on who you are as a person. Also, you have to be lucky. That's part of it too.
Absolutely.
That took me a long time to realize. My goodness.
Yeah, like that's the thing that like people will tell you that like luck isn't involved and like it's all about how hard you grind, and as long as you're waking up every minute a day at 4 a.m. and you're streaming 16 hours a day, then like eventually success will come. And like the effort you put in like definitely correlates to what you get out, but like there is an aspect of luck to it as well.
You can stream every day for 5 years and not see any difference in your view count, which sucks, but it might happen if you are not into it. And
especially on Twitch, like before you hit a certain point, most growth comes from like outside the platform.
That's true, actually. I didn't even think about that. You're not wrong.
Twitch as a platform has really bad discoverability. So if your strategy for growth is to stream a lot, then like that's not going to inherently grow your stream. If your strategy for growth is to never stream, that also won't work. But
hey,
like,
but taking breaks
are you trying to grow?
No.
There you go. Then it's not a call out. Yeah.
What if I was?
And like, yeah, and again, like so much luck goes into it. I've seen people, like I know people I'm friends with who like were on the cusp of partner, and then like something like a couple unlucky things happened, and it just like completely screwed up everything. And then like another lucky thing happened, and then that took them over the edge. Like,
right.
Thank God we found a topic to talk about. I'm so proud of us.
Good. Yeah, I mean, like the main thing is consistency, but at the same time, also being like motivated to do it. Like just forcing yourself to stream every day and not wanting to do it will obviously show. Like people will realize that you were not interested.
That's really obvious. It's really obvious.
So if you feel like you need to take a break, take a break. As long as you can prove to yourself that you'll have a better time doing it. I mean, as long as you're not taking like a 3-year break, even then. But yeah, just try and stay consistent and motivated.
Like the unfortunate truth is that like your goal with streaming shouldn't be for it to become your career. That should be a thing that might happen. Because it's too up in the air to predict that ahead of time.
Don't get too ambitious with it either. Don't quit your job when you get 100 followers on Twitch.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just like take it one step at a time and like network. That's like the big thing, honestly, is just like volunteer for marathons, join communities, provide like you get so much more growth from just like giving back to your community than you do from like just streaming all the time. And like that's a win-win.
Yeah.
Like you want people there because they're like want to see you. You don't want people there because like I don't know, just the algorithm told them to, you know? Not that Twitch has a particularly advanced algorithm. and they want to see you because you proposed to GDQ. That's the important thing.
Just don't be weird about proposing to GDQ, or else
Yeah,
they won't
like
listen to you.
again, no, I think it's worth reiterating that like if you are a little bit uncomfortable and awkward
Be weird about it.
during your proposal to GDQ, we understand that's not what we mean by being weird about it. You just have to just do it in a way that is you, do it in a way that like is not creepy. Don't be creepy when you propose to GDQ. On a
Right, because the act in itself is totally normal.
the act that well, yeah, like
Of
we've all
course.
done it. Yeah, just be cool about it. How are we looking in terms of the run?
Oh, I am probably would be way behind my PB at this point. I'm actually doing this without an equip. When I played on GDQ Hotfix last, I was doing what's faster, and I discovered that as long as you're not trying to go for a PB, it's actually okay to not have every single piece of the puzzle. In this case, I don't have no usable equip, so normally here is where I would A attack, but since this is kind of more of like a demo, we'll call it, of this, we'll probably just this would be the point where I go for MBD for fun,
because we are getting pretty close to time. So
yeah.
I just
no, we're past World Tournament. We're past the short category. We just finished that.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta end the timer.
All right. Yeah, it ended a little while ago, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's fine.
This is the category you just did plus some.
Yeah,
category.
It's the new game plus.
New game edition sign, not plus.
Let's say hypothetically, it's not hypothetical because this is going to be the case for everybody who watched the episode. People were like, "I want more Sky." Where can they find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Skybilz, youtube.com/Skybilz, and also Twitter at Skybilz for many cute critters. That's what people know my Twitter social media for, because I love raccoons, I love otters. If that's not evident, please be sure to take a look at my likes. It's mostly cute animal woodland critters. But YouTube is full of my past Ironman runs and my past speedruns, and Twitch, I'm just pretty much there every night doing Ironman lately, except for Inscription, which I told Author Blues I would do, so I had to do that for a single stream.
I brought it up. I thought it was okay. I don't know. I wasn't super in love with it.
Yeah.
Let's say hypothetically, people wanted to see you in like a formal like show context. Is there a place they could do that?
Sure. In more of a formal show context, I run Random Number Generation and Mercy Kill on GDQ Hotfix. So that is every other Tuesday and every other Wednesday. Random Number Generation is all about randomizers. Mercy Kill is all about rusty speedruns and just having a good time and getting to know the runners. So if any of those interest you, please be sure to check my shows out on GDQ Hotfix. That is twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, all one word, and youtube.com/gamesdonequick.
If you like this podcast and you're not already following us, you should do that. We have a YouTube, link in the description. We have a Twitter at twitter.com/dearpbpod. We also have a Patreon, which you already heard the ad for earlier in the episode. Sky didn't, but that's because we spliced it in afterwards. Don't bring it up. It's a secret. Patreon.com/dearpbpod, where you get access to the bonus episodes once a month. We just released one that is great. Some of the content we've ever produced. It's
phenomenal.
It's very good. We're gonna probably do another one this month. Sorry about us. We have a big announcement. We can't talk about it yet. It's coming soon.
Oh boy, maybe next week.
Boy. Yeah, Sky knows what it is.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's very exciting. Hopefully soon. But yeah, we're gonna keep you all wondering a little bit longer. So and you know what? If you want to know what it is, you know what you can do? You can watch the next episode of this podcast. This is called it's called Locking You In. This is
and then if it's not announced there, then you'll have to watch the next one. Yeah.
And so we're just gonna string people on forever.
Yeah. And then once we do announce it, I don't know what happens once we do announce it. But
we lose all our viewership, but we also gain it. We gain it on the other thing. So like,
whoa, spoilers!
A little bit of a peek behind the curtain there. It is in fact content. Of what type? Who could say? Anyone got anything else?
Yeah, I'll add one last thing. If you're going out there and you wanna keep continue to grow your own brand, you want to know what? Make content. I know that sounds really simple, but make content, have fun with it, and you never know what's going to happen. That's the fun thing about streaming. So that's what I'm going to leave y'all on.
All right. You know our catchphrase?
What?
As we always say at the end of an episode,
1, 2, say it with us. 3. Don't be
Don't
racist.
be racist.
It's good.
Bye.